This is In the Loop. I'm Christian Bryant. Tonight we're starting with electric vehicles. Electric vehicles are more than just how Elon Musk made enough money to buy Twitter. EVs are a fast-growing share of the US car market, and federal policy, along with consumer demand, is pushing automakers to make more of their fleets electric. President Biden has pushed for electric vehicles to make up at least half of all new car sales by 2030, and the bipartisan infrastructure bill signed last year pledges more than $7 billion in funds for electric charging stations. And people want electric vehicles. Data from the Department of Energy shows that Americans bought more than 600,000 electric or plug-in hybrid vehicles, almost double the total from 2020 or 2019, and a huge leap from only a few hundred total in 2010. So why are more people going electric? According to Jessica Caldwell, the executive director of insights at the car shopping and review site Edmunds, the answer isn't all too surprising.
We recently did a survey asking people, if you would buy an electric vehicle, why would you buy one? And the answers, I think, were pretty typical of what you'd expect. Of course, environmental sustainability was on a lot of people's minds. Also, in light of high gas prices, of course, that really changed people's mind. I think to get people to truly change their behavior, you have to hit them in the wallet.
And a Forbes YouGov poll released last fall found that the two most popular reasons for buying an electric car were to help the environment and pay less in taxes or maintenance for their car. At the same time, electric vehicles may still not be accessible to everyone for reasons that go beyond just cost. Testimony last month from the U.S. Government Accountability Office said that while the U.S. government currently owns about 1,100 charging stations, it will need more than 100,000 to support widespread electric vehicle use. Even when you broaden it out to publicly available chargers not owned by the government, there are less than a third as many electric charging stations as there are gas stations. But at least one charging company doesn't necessarily see that as an issue. Jonathan Levy, the chief commercial officer at the charging network EVgo, says that the jump can be made progressively as electric vehicles spread.
I first of all reject the premise that we have a charger shortage. Global EV sales surpassed 6 million in 2021. And having this rapid doubling, yes, there does need to be more work to catch up, but there is spare capacity on the market today. You don't need to build 2030 infrastructure today, right? We're all hoping to push to 100% electric vehicle sales as quickly as possible. But right now you're in the single digits. So we need to build 2025's infrastructure today. And we need to build 2030's infrastructure in 2025, 2028 or so.
And our old friend, the supply chain, is also making it harder for companies to make enough electric vehicles to meet demand. Electric vehicles rely on batteries that use minerals like lithium that can be difficult for companies to access. Without enough of a supply of minerals, there aren't enough batteries to make electric cars and trucks that people want. So let's get a little bit of on-the-ground perspective here. Every Sunday night, Newsy's documentary series In Real Life takes viewers to the heart of a story. This Sunday's episode looks at the push to make the supply chain for EVs and other renewable tech stronger and cleaner. Newsy's Zach Toombs went to the global epicenter of lithium mining in Chile and to Detroit to see what's needed to support this explosive growth in electric vehicles. Here's a sneak peek.
This is what an electric vehicle manufacturing boom looks like. And of course, what sets an EV apart from the gas-guzzling classics is what's at their core, the modern miracle of tech known as the lithium battery. It comes in different shapes and sizes, but lithium batteries can be found inside solar panels, cell phones, and a wide range of consumer electronics, including the largest consumer electronic, the electric vehicle, or EV. While the energy that flows through the batteries can be renewable, they're made up of finite resources, like lithium, cobalt, copper, and other minerals pulled from the earth to meet soaring demand.
The market's just crazy at the moment, so we'll try to keep up.
Now, with a modern-day global gold rush underway, the industries that use and produce these battery resources face challenges to make the supply chain for clean energy cleaner.
Has the situation improved?
No tanto.
And to keep the supply flowing fast enough to build out the world's renewable future.
All right, many thanks, Zach, for that on-the-ground look. You can catch the full episode Sunday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern right here on Newsy. So, electric vehicle demand is high, but the supply is tight. That means most of us won't be able to get our hands on one anytime soon. A lot of the demand for EVs is coming as gas prices are at their highest levels in several years amid inflation and Russia's invasion of Ukraine. And while there isn't all that much Washington can do to lower prices in the short term, there are some debates over what to do next, including about whether to temporarily suspend the 18-cent per gallon federal gas tax. Let's get a little more context on this from Newsy's congressional correspondent Nathaniel Reed. Nate, what solutions are leaders in Congress considering? And what issues have come up that are leading to a split on how to address this?
Hey there, CB. With the midterm elections fast approaching, Democrats in Congress are acutely aware of the woes of inflation and rising prices at the pump. But Democrats in Congress are also divided, with members up for re-election desperate to get something done so the party has something to show its voters come November. One option on the table, suspending the roughly 18-cent federal gas tax that's aimed at lowering prices. But Speaker Pelosi last month cast doubt that the savings would actually be passed on to drivers. So instead, Democratic leaders in the House and Senate are placing the blame for the pain at the pump on what they call price gouging by American gas companies. They're calling for stepped-up enforcement by the Federal Trade Commission.
We're doing two things. We're shining a spotlight. We're picking up the hood and shining a spotlight on how these corporations price and function. And then we're giving the authorities, the FTC and others, the tools to fix what was wrong once they found it. Plain and simple.
In this time of war, at any time, there's no excuse for big oil companies to profiteer, to price gouge, or exploit families. That is why Democrats are moving forward with forceful action that will stop and hold accountable oil and gas companies for profiteering and manipulating markets.
But so far, it's been a lot of talk and not a lot of action. It's not clear how much can be done given that Republicans have not been as keen to go after gas companies. And while House Democrats can pass legislation to step up enforcement on alleged price gouging by gas companies, any bill that would do so would also face an uphill battle in the Senate due to filibuster rules. All 50 Democrats would need to stand united and then win support of 10 Republicans to pass the vast majority of legislation in the chamber, because it requires 60 votes. For now, the onus might fall on President Biden to sign executive actions, but any executive action is sure to be weaker than laws passed by Congress. CB?
All right, Nate, thanks for the update.